Yes, my people, welcome back to EMGM Sports. How's everyone doing? Listen, it's fight week. This is it. No more talking. All the hype is gone. All that back and forth, trash talking, saying I'm going to do this to you. It's done. It's over. Sparring's done. All the runs are done. Hitting the bags. Pad work. Put that to one side. This Saturday, the 22nd of February, is going down. Riyad season, arguably one of the greatest cards we've ever seen. Some people are saying it's the greatest of all time. And you know what? They're not far off. They're not far off. I kind of agree with them because every single fight on that card is exciting. It's entertaining. 50-50 fights. Seriously, I'm on a fence with so many of those fights. But for today, I'm going to be focusing on the main event. Artur Beterbiev versus Bivol will slug it out again. Will clash in Riyadh. The rematch. Artur Beterbiev walked out undisputed champion, winning via a majority decision last time these two guys clashed heads. But who's going to walk away victorious come Saturday evening? That's what we're here today. That's what we're here. That's what we're here to talk about, man. What do you think this is about? But listen, before we get started, go ahead, smash the like button. I mean, absolutely violate the like button. No diddy. You get what I mean? But listen, show the channel love. Smash the like button. Also, if you're new to the channel, please go ahead. Subscribe, man. Subscribe because that's how you're going to help the channel to grow. But listen, my people, man, let's break down this fight, man. Let's break down Artur Beterbiev versus Bivol. Now, last time, I really enjoyed the first fight. I want to be honest. Do you know what I mean? I loved it. I've watched it about 3 times. And every time I watch it, it's the same conclusion. I still have Artur Beterbiev winning by 2 rounds. Now, I've spoken to boxers. I've spoken to coaches, fans. I've spoken to so many people. And I'll be honest, majority of the people that I've spoken to conclude that Artur Beterbiev won the fight by a round or 2. Do you know what I mean? I had some Bivol fans, some people say, yo, Bivol won it, he was robbed, whatever. But to me, it was no robbery. It was just 2 guys who are absolutely at the top of their craft, elite, world-class fighters, yeah? Very little to separate them. Do you know what I mean? And when 2 of these guys, yeah, 2 guys that are at the top of the game, at that level, meet each other, yeah, it's always small margins. It's always small margin. That's what I always say, man. Leave everything in a ring, yeah, or you take it away from the judge's hands. Do you know what I mean? You either go out there, absolutely blow your opponent away, yeah, so there's no doubt. You knock him out, you stop him, whatever, or you work harder than your opponent in there. You work your ass off. Do you know what I mean? Like, you put in mad work and everyone sees like, yo, my guy put in mad work, he's the winner. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's only 2 ways you can win, but when both guys are operating like at the same level, putting in the same amount of effort, man, it's hard, man. It then goes on to what the judges like to see. Do you know what I mean? The characters of the judges. Do they like a fighter that's on the front foot, controlling the ring? Or do they prefer a boxer who's, even though he's on the back foot, but they're still letting their hands go, letting the jab go, backhands, etc., etc. Do you know what I mean? So it all depends on the judges if it gets to that point where both guys are equally matched. And that's what happened with Artur Beterbiev and Bivol in the first fight. Do you know what I mean? So today, I just wanna look at the keys to victory for Bivol. Do you know what I mean? Artur Beterbiev won the last fight. He made history. You know what I mean? I believe the first undisputed champion in a lightweight division, in a light heavyweight division in the 4-belt era. Do you know what I mean? If I'm wrong, let me know, please. Do you know what I mean? Let me know in the comments, and listen, I'll gladly apologize for that. But that's what I believe. Do you know what I mean? I believe that to be the case. And for Bivol, he was very heartbroken. Do you know what I mean? You can see him after the fight. He was devastated because, listen, he worked hard. That's his dream, to become undisputed. Do you know what I mean? And the guy standing on his way, probably one of the hardest punches in the light heavyweight division that we've ever seen, Artur Beterbiev. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, Bivol was like, he just couldn't believe it, man. He actually thought that he won that fight. Do you know what I mean? And listen, in any other night, he could have won it. He could have walked away. Because he went down to the judges, I feel like the judges just preferred the fighter who controlled the ring more, who had the better ring generalship. Do you know what I mean? And talking about ring generalship, I'm going to get to that. when I talk about the keys to victory for Dimitri Bivol. Now, for me, Dimitri Bivol boxed wonderfully well in the first fight, but there's just little small improvements that I believe that he can make that will make the difference in this upcoming fight, in the rematch. Do you know what I mean? And today's video, I really want you to really give me some time to really express myself and slowly break down these fights. Do you know what I mean? It's not going to be one of those videos where I might do 10 minutes. Now, I think I want to do a bit longer than the usual. Do you know what I mean? So be patient with me, please. Don't go and watch whatever. I don't know what you like to watch, but stay here. This is the place to be. Do you know what I mean? Let's break it down together. Let's break down these fights. Now, for me, the keys to victory for Dimitri Bivol, where he can make the improvements, where I feel like it's going to make the difference, you know, between him walking away empty-handed again or going in the history books, becoming undisputed champion, which I will be happy for Dimitri Bivol because he's a fantastic fighter, beautiful fighter, highly skilled, and it will make me so happy if he walks away undisputed because Artur Beterbiev has already made history. He's already undisputed. Do you know what I mean? And I would love to see a third fight between these guys. That would be fantastic. That would be wonderful. I really love it. Do you know what I mean? And for me, Bivol deserves to be undisputed champion. Like, even if he doesn't beat Artur Beterbiev on Saturday, I feel like he's still gonna get a crack in the near future. Definitely. He's still young. Why is he? 31 years old. So he's gonna have another crack at it. Do you know what I mean? And looking at that light heavyweight division, like who's really gonna beat Bivol? I don't really see no one beating Bivol in that light heavyweight division. Do you know what I mean? People are talking about Benavidez. Bro, Benavidez gets hit way too much for him to challenge Bivol. Do you know what I mean? So we're just going to have to wait and see on that. Do you know what I mean? But anyways, let's crack on. Let's talk about the keys to victory for Dimitri Bivol. And let's see, you know, let's see what he needs to do to come away victorious in this rematch. For me, the first keys to victory for Dimitri Bivol is more assertiveness. Bivol needs to be more assertive. He needs to show more control in that ring. Remember what I said in the beginning about the judges? You really need to study what judges are going to be at your fight. Do you know what I mean? You need, I don't know if fighters do this or the coaches do their homework on judges. I feel like it's key. Even me, as I'm an amateur coach, yeah? I'm an amateur boxing coach, yeah? Like, if I get to those levels of where I'm coaching pros, yeah? And we're in a big title fight, whatever, I'm really going to study the judges. You know what I mean? I'm going to look back at the fights that they judged in the past or do you know what I mean? Or maybe a fight or two that they judged, you know, before my fight. And I'm going to look at what style of judges are these? Are these judges, do they prefer more fighters who are a bit more skillful, even though they're on the back foot by the landing? Do they like that type of style? Or do they like fighters that are more aggressive, who show more control, more ring generalship? I'm really going to study that. I feel like that's vital. I don't know if coaches do that. Like, if you're a coach and you're watching my channel right now, like, let me know in the comments, like, do you study judges as well at the pro level? Do you kind of look at them and see what type of judges that Andy? Let's use an example. Andy, he likes aggressive fighters, because I feel like that's so key, because I believe that as a coach, if you know what type of judges you're dealing with, then you know what type of advice to give to your fighter, right? Especially in between rounds. You know, if your fight is backing off, you know, even though we did land a lot, we probably lost that round based on just backing off because of the type of judges that we have. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like, I feel that that's a massive help. Do you know what I mean? So that's why I say more aggressiveness by Dimitri Bivol, man. Show more control. Do you know what I mean? Like, stick to your guns, man. Stay in the center of the ring. Bang it out. And I can understand why Bivol didn't want to bang it out, like with Artur Beterbiev. We cannot understand it. The guy hits like a train. He's a wrecking ball. Do you know what I mean? He's knocked out 20 of the last opponents. The only guy he hasn't knocked out is Dimitri Bivol. And I feel like Bivol needs to take a lot of confidence from the fact that he survived against Artur Beterbiev. He's the only guy that's ever survived the fight against Artur Beterbiev. That should give him great confidence. Do you know what I mean? And I believe with that, with the lessons that he's got from that last fight, he should be more assertive. Have more control in that fight. Do you know what I mean? At least try and establish a level of control where Artur Beterbiev gets that respect from you. Because if he allows Artur Beterbiev to control the ring again, it's just going to be a repeat of the first fight. I don't know what you're thinking, but that's what I'm thinking. Dimitri Bivol cannot afford to fight on the back foot again. Do you know what I mean? Or if he is going to fight on the back foot, don't take too many steps back. Do you know what I mean? Whenever I'm training or whenever I'm watching the pros train, yeah, and I'm listening to what the coach is telling them, especially when the fight is backing up, they always say to them, yo, take 2 steps back and then pivot. Do you know what I mean? Take 2 steps back, pivot, move away, change directions. Don't take more than 2 steps back. Because when you're taking 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steps back, all of a sudden you're on the ropes, mate. You're cornered. Do you know what I mean? Take 2 steps back, pivot, move away, change direction, do whatever you can to offset the opponent coming forward. Do you know what I mean? And cornering you. And I feel like it's vital for Dimitri Bivol not to get backed too many times in this fight, because it's just going to look like a repeat of the first fight. Do you know what I mean? So that's my first key to victory for Artur Beterbiev. Sorry, not Artur Beterbiev, Dimitri Bivol. Be more assertive. Stop being on the back foot for too long in between during the rounds. Do you know what I mean? Because I just feel like it might be similar judges again come Saturday. Do you know what I mean? They might just favor that style of Artur Beterbiev who comes forward and looks more aggressive, more in control. Do you know what I mean? Shows that calmness about him. Do you know what I mean? And that, I feel like it has to be a reverse role. Bivol has to show that control, that calmness, that assertiveness that I just said right now. Do you know what I mean? So that's my first keys to victory for Dimitri Bivol. Now, for me, also what plays a big factor is his body language. When I was watching that fight, the first fight, Artur Beterbiev and Bivol, is that the body, like whenever Artur Beterbiev will hit Bivol with a solid punch, like you can see the demeanor and the body language of Dimitri Bivol change. Do you know what I mean? You can see the fact that, yeah, that had an effect on him. That had an impact on him. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like watching from ringside, you know what I mean? From a judge's point of view, even the fans and people watching, even your opponent, the guy that just punched you, you show a kind of weakness. You feel like, oh, you show that punch that he just landed actually affected you. You're giving your opponent more confidence. Do you know what I mean? You're actually egging them on. You're making them more eager to, like, now I'm going to come and damage you. Do you know what I mean? And also from the judge's point of view, think about this, yeah. Dimitri Bivol does tend to throw a lot of punches. He does throw in volume. So let's say, for example, you know, in the first couple of minutes of the fight, Bivol throws great combination. He's looking good. Artur Beterbiev throws a right hook, yeah, or throws a straight to the body, and Bivol, you know, covers up. And then he steps back and he covers up. That for me, that looks bad. That looks terrible. Do you know what I mean? If it looks like your punches wasn't effective against Artur, but Artur's single power punch has actually done some damage to you. And now you don't want to engage. Now you're in a retreat. Now you're trying to recover. And I feel like it just looks bad. Do you know what I mean? And a lot of judges will look at that, and you know what? They might have had, what's his name? Bivol winning the first minute of the fight, but then they go, you know what? That body shot, that power punch by Artur Beterbiev done more damage. Boom. That's a round for Artur Beterbiev. So I just feel like, and I know it's not easy. And listen, I'm not just saying these things for the sake of saying it. Do you know what I mean? I'm just giving my opinion on what I feel like is going to be more effective. Body language is important, mate. Body language is important, man. I've read so many fighters, what they've said. Listen, they'll have a poker face on. Even if something hurts them, a punch hurts them, they'll have a poker face on. They'll smile or they'll just stay there and bang, because you don't want to give the opponent the initiative, man. And I know it's not easy because we're talking about Artur Beterbiev here. Power puncher, you know, like, you know, it's easy for me to sit here and say, but honestly, Bivol has to manage that body language, man. Like, he really needs to, like, just suck it in, man. That's the word. Suck it in, mate. Like, if you're not getting knocked down by those fights, mate, smile at it. At least smile. Protect, like, have a poker face on, mate. Do you know what I mean? Or if you do get hit with one of those hard punches, bang back. Hit him back, bro. Do you know what I mean? Bang it back. Hit him back with something hard as well. Do you know what I mean? Another keys to victory. Now, this is my third one. And I think I kind of slightly covered it with my first keys to victory. This is ring generalship. In the first fight, I think it was obvious to everyone that Bivol was on the back foot from round 1 to round 12. Do you know, especially round 11 and 12, I feel like that's where Bivol lost the fight. And many people agree with that. The reason why in rounds 11 to 12, it just seemed like Bivol got advice from his corner or something like that, or from like, someone told him, you're winning the fight. And it looked like he took rounds 11 and 12 off. He was on the back foot the whole time. Now, he had moments in the rounds where he was banging and he was but he was just backing off, and it looked like someone told Artur Beterbiev, yo, you're losing by a round. You need to win the last 2. And Artur Beterbiev just went out there and just steamrolled my guy. He was just relentless going forward, even though a lot of Artur Beterbiev's punches were being blocked. Do you know what I mean? It was rash. But still, like I said, look at it from the judges' perspective. Look at it from a scoring point of the judges. And look, a lot of the times, yeah, we look at punch thrown, and I'm gonna talk about that. We look at punches thrown, right? Punches landed and power punches, jabs, etc., etc. And I wanna read a little bit there on the punches landed, etc. But at the end of the day, some judges, they're looking with their eyes. Do you know what I mean? That's why when people talk about compy punch, you know, all those stats, they're like, how come Bivol didn't win? He threw more punches. Yes, I get it. I get the stats. But these judges are also judging with their eyes. Think about it. If a guy's relentless in throwing punches and you're going backwards, even if the guy's missing, the fact that he's making you retreat and you look like you're legging it, you're doing a runner, you're trying to survive, you're losing, bro. You're losing the fight. Do you know what I mean? You're losing the fight. So do you know what I mean? So ring generalship, I've written it down here, is going to be key in this fight. The person, for me personally, the way I'm watching boxing, ring generalship, if you can control that, I think you've won half the fight already. You've won half the fight. Half the job is done for me if you've got the ring generalship. Ring generalship for me usually means you've got the respect of your opponent. Do you know what I mean? You've got the respect of your opponent. You've hit them with something that they've felt that, you know what, they thought, now they're thinking, you know what, I can't stand there and trade with this guy. I can't engage with this guy because I can't afford to eat any more of those punches. Otherwise, I'm going to go down. Do you know what I mean? And I know you're going to come back to me and say, yo, Enzo, what about Floyd? What about there's so many fighters in the past who have fought on the back foot and won fights comfortably? Yeah. You can fight on the back foot, but the punches that you're landing on the back foot have to have a massive impact, a massive effect on your opponent when they're coming in. Dimitri Bivol's punches, fighting from the back foot, wasn't having the level of impact that he should have had on Artur Beterbiev, because Artur Beterbiev did not respect that power that was coming back. Hence, he kept going forward. Bivol's a volume puncher, but he wasn't doing damage to Artur Beterbiev. That's why I encouraged Artur Beterbiev to just keep coming forward and control that ring. Like, do you know what I mean? Bivol cannot afford to do that in this rematch. He has to try and establish ring generalship. Gain the respect. Do you know what I mean? From not even command respect in that ring. Bite down on that gum shield. Believe in yourself. Believe in your strength. That's another key for battle I've noted down here for Dimitri Bivol. Believe in your strength. Do you know what it is? A lot of the time, yeah, when you get two elite fighters, two guys that are equally matched, yeah, in terms of like boxing skill, strength, etc., etc., what happens is, yeah, sometimes one of the fighters, yeah, you're so worried about the other guy's strength that you start worrying about your own weaknesses. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Like, you're so worried about your opponent's strengths, you start now thinking about your weaknesses. Instead of you thinking about your strengths, yeah, and trying to get to your opponent's weakness, trying to expose their weakness. I feel like that's what happened in the first fight with Dmitry Bivol and Artur Beterbiev. Bivol did not believe in 100% on his strengths. Hence why he was on the back foot retreating the whole time. Do you know what I mean? You have explosive moments like during the rounds, like, do you know what I mean? Maybe towards the ends, he might do a little flurry and it looks good. By that time, he's lost the round. He's lost the round already. It's too late. Do you know what I mean? So this time, I really want Dmitry Bivol to really focus on his own strengths and believing in them. Because I know he's got it in there. We saw him against Canelo. We saw him. He believed in his strengths. Man, forget Canelo, bro. You're like some blown up middleweight. I'm going to smash you, bro. He showed Canelo no respect. Absolutely blew Canelo away. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, Canelo is not Artur Beterbiev. I get it. But the same mentality he applied against Saul Canelo Alvarez, he has to apply against Artur Beterbiev, in my opinion. If he wants to be successful in this fight and if he wants to walk away with that undisputed title and go down in history. He has to be believing in his own strength. That's what Bivol has to do, in my opinion. Do you know what I mean? Really, like I say, stand there and engage. And I know it's easy to say, like I said it already so many times. Artur Beterbiev hits like a train. He's knocked everyone out, apart from Bivol. But like I said as well, Bivol should use that as encouragement. The fact that he's the only man on this earth to survive in the ring for 12 rounds against Artur Beterbiev. So he's got it in him. And he's skilled enough to avoid a lot of the punches. Listen, Artur Beterbiev is not getting any younger. How old is he? 39, 40 years old. Even in the last fight, the guy slowed down a bit. Father time does not wait for nobody. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter how many times you go running. It doesn't matter how long you hit the bag for. It doesn't matter how you're looking good in sparring. Father time does not wait for nobody. And father time doesn't announce itself. You don't suddenly wake up and, oh my God, it's father time. No, you will find that in that ring. In that moment, you know, oh my God, my feet are stuck in mud. I can't move. My reactions are slower. That's when you find out it's father time. Do you know what I mean? That's when you find out. And Dmitry Bivol, he has to get that out of Artur Beterbiev. He has to show Artur Beterbiev, yo, I'm 31 years old. I'm the younger man. I'm the fitter man. I'm the faster man. I'm more skilled. I'm going to take it to you. You try and knock me out. Do you know what I mean? That's what Bivol has to do. Obviously, he's just saying that done. But for me, those are the keys to victory for Dmitry Bivol, man. Be more assertive, ring generalship, believe in your strength, and just better overall body language, man. Whenever you get hit with a punch, stop that reaction like, oof, cover up, retreat. That looks bad. That looks bad in the eye of the judges, even in the eye of the watching fans. Do you know what I mean? Seriously. You know, now, I'm just going to read off some power, you know, some punch stats and everything like that from the first fight. Yeah, I'm just going to read that off if you're patient with me. Look, Bivol connected on 50% of his power punches, while Beterbiev only landed 29% of his. Yeah, Bivol landed 33 power punches over the first 6 rounds, while Beterbiev landed 23. Beterbiev turned the tide over the last 6 rounds by landing 67 power punches to Bivol's 51. So you see that in the first half of the fight, a lot of success for Bivol. In the second half of the fight, that's when Artur Beterbiev just starts taking over, landing more power punches. You know, he landed 67 power punches, you know, to Bivol's 51 in the second part of the fight. in rounds 11 and 12. Now, this is when I said that I believe someone told Bivol that he was winning the fight. That's what Bivol took his foot off the gas and he was retreating in rounds 11 and 12. This is key here. In rounds 11 and 12, Beterbiev landed 29 power punches while Bivol landed 19. Do you know what I mean? This is it. It looks like Bivol really thought he was winning. So he started retreating, covering up, and it looked bad in the judges. In the eyes of the judges, looked bad. That's what gave Artur Beterbiev that fight, the last 2 rounds. And I said it, Artur Beterbiev won by 2 rounds. And it was in round 11 and 12 where Bivol lost it. You know? The fighters were separated by 4 or less landed punches in the 8 or the 12 rounds fought. It is small margins. Small margins, this fight. 2 elite fighters, world class, small margins. Not a lot to separate these 2 guys. And it's going to be the same this Saturday. It's going to be fascinating. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be fascinating. Listen, I just covered the keys to victory for Dimitri Bivol. Do you know what I mean? I'm not really going to go into Artur Beterbiev because he won last time. Do you know what I mean? But I'm just going to say something for Artur Beterbiev on a quick thing here. Just more volume from Artur Beterbiev. That's what I want to see. I feel like last time he was trying to pot shot a lot. Do you know what I mean? He wanted to get too close to Bivol to let his hands go. And sometimes by the time he got there, Bivol grabbed him or Bivol, you know, like pivoted or left that area. Do you know what I mean? So it's key for me. Artur Beterbiev throws more volume, especially in the center of the ring. He wasn't really throwing too much when both men were at the center of the ring. Artur Beterbiev was waiting to back Bivol up, back him down, get him to the ropes, and then throw his punches when he corners him. But I feel like this time, Bivol has learned from that first fight. So Artur Beterbiev might have to mix it. He's gonna have to bang in the middle of in the center of the ring, and also, again, control that ring generalship, back Bivol back, take him to the ropes, and let your shots go. And you know what I mean, like. I feel like that's the keys to victory for Artur Beterbiev, man. At 39 years old, I don't feel like his speed is going to improve. I don't feel like his footwork is going to improve. I don't feel like there's not much improvements from Artur Beterbiev. He's going to be the solid Artur Beterbiev. You know, he's going to be fit. He's always fit. He's a crazy guy when it comes to fitness and stamina. He's going to be good. But for me, just throw more volume in the center of the ring. Because if Bivol decides to bang this time and stand there, we're going to see how Artur Beterbiev reacts. What about if Bivol goes, you know what, I'm not going to let you bat me down and push me back to the ropes. I'm going to stand my ground and bang it out now. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, that might play to Artur Beterbiev's advantage because he's the harder puncher of the 2. Do you know what I mean? But I want to see Artur Beterbiev throw more punches when they're in the center of the ring. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Instead of just waiting for him to push Bivol to the ropes before he lets his shots go. Do you know what I mean? Just because I feel like he was getting hit a lot. Bivol had a lot of success in the center of the ring. It's only when Bivol backed away, got cornered on the ropes, and then Artur Beterbiev let his shots go. But listen, that was my breakdown of the fight. Like I said, this video is a bit longer than the usual. Do you know what I mean? Because I really wanted to sit here and really break it down. Really wanted to have this conversation with you. And listen, I really hope you appreciate it. Do you know what I mean? I put a lot of effort into putting together these breakdowns and stuff like that. I really hope you enjoyed it. And listen, let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments, man, what you think of my breakdown. Let me know if you think there's anything I missed out. Let me know that if there's anything that you want me to include next time on my next breakdown, because this week I'm going to do more breakdowns of fights on that card. So let me know, man, so that I can learn from you as well. But also, let me know who you think is going to win on Saturday. Who you got? Dimitri Bivol or Artur Beterbiev taking home the win, man. Yeah, man. Let me know. Let me know in the comments, and I really appreciate it, man. Listen, I'm going to leave it at that. I think I've said enough. I think I've said enough for today. And yeah, looking forward to the fight, man. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be a cracker. Listen, I'll see you again with another one real soon, man. Until then, stay blessed, my guys. Peace.